note against note kind of counterpoint. But you know, the real game in real counterpoint is when they're out of sync with one another, and there's suspensions and retardations and all sorts of ways in which those parts have been displaced one from the other. And this piece gives us just a little taste of that right toward the end. This chord, 5-6-5 of 5, we looked at that earlier. Well, I'm on an A here, man, C sharp. Okay, so we've got this chord. A, C sharp, E, G, and we know what this chordal seventh should do. The seventh of the chord should do what? Down by step. Should resolve down by step. Now look at your music. So this is above that C sharp in measure 6. And there's that D that comes up in the next measure. What's the G do? It stays at first. Okay, so we keep it. The E resolves. What's the A do? Goes up and you see those notes in the next measure? That's a cadential 6/4. But that chordal seventh still is not resolved. Do you see where it resolves? Yeah, the next beat. Should that be B2 or B2/4? Yeah.
B2, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean though. Okay, so we finally get the resolution over here to our F sharp. Now the D already got there, so that's good. But the B as well needs to come there eventually. But you see, this is a dissonant note still. Here it's a tritone, right? C sharp up to G. It's a chordal seventh, so there's another dissonance. This note needs to come down for several reasons. Because there's dissonance involved. There's a seventh here, and there's a tritone. I'll use TT for that. Now, when the bass changes, this note kind of hangs on. What do you call that? When a note hangs on too long and doesn't resolve when you expect it to? Suspension. Yeah, suspension. Remember the other word? If it hangs on too long and it goes up, not quite. That's when it jumps the gun for the next chord. This is a note that's held over and then goes up.
Is it retardation?
Yes, retardation. Now that's a really bad sounding word in today's world, isn't it? But you know, you want to go to the next grade. And you want to go up a layer from the 4th grade. I want to go to the 5th grade. And you're called retarded. And if you're held back, very bad word. But the idea is you're trying to go up, you know, trying to progress somewhere higher than you are now. And so the word used, before it ever had all these bad connotations, is just that. You're held back from going up until later. Okay? So it makes some sense. Suspensions, they're held back too, but they go down. I like to think of Wile E. Coyote. You know, he's airborne for 2 minutes and then down he goes. You know, he's suspended in midair and then comes down. That's Wile E. Retarded means you're just held back and you go, well, I'm waiting for the lather, and then okay, you know, then you finally go up. But retardation goes up, the suspension goes down. All right, so here's our suspended note, and its resolution over here. It hangs on too long. It should have changed there. That's what counterpoint is really the study of. It's how you combine melodies, but you keep them independent. So everything's melodic. You know, it has its own reason to be. It is a melody. And it has a certain amount of independence. And one of the main ways that you keep melodies independent from one another is you do things like this, where they're out of sync in some way. Suspensions and retardations. It's a real art to create stuff like that. Now this one is a very cliche. So that we end up with a 4th above the bass. I'm just going to get rid of that other D. 4th going to a 3rd. 4/3 suspension is what that is, or sus4 if we have oxygens. Okay, so 4/3, but there's also the 6/5 that goes with it, and now we go, oh yeah, I've seen that a million times, right? Another way to write that is to say that's a 1, 6, 4 going to a 5, 7 over here. Did we get a 7th in there? How did the 7th come in? Oh, because actually the 6th goes up in this case. All right, so it's there. Now the 6th is constant, so it can go wherever it wants. So you can even leap away from the 6th. It's that 4th that has to go down. In this case, it not only has to go down because it's a suspension, but because that G in the first place needed to go there, right? So it's going to come down. All right, but that 6th is free to move up, and that's what it does here. So you could write it this way. I'm fine with that, as long as at some level you show me that dominant kicks in where the 6/4 is. It's just that some notes up above are delayed. The harmony arrives, but some of the notes are delayed in resolving. See how I'm putting that? So I don't put the D underneath the 5/7. I don't do this. I do this. See the difference? The harmony and the bass arrive.